My name is Mackenzie Pickens. I teach kindergarten at St. John Bosco in Hammond. So when I was attending Calumet College, I would sub on the side on my off days, and I was actually a substitute teacher for them. I was kind of their long-term sub, so if they ever needed someone for like maternity leave or someone's out with medical stuff, I was pretty much their go-to. It just so happened when I graduated from Cal College, a spot opened up, which was kindergarten, and that was my favorite position. I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher since I was in kindergarten, and once it opened up, I knew I needed to be here. So I did tons of college visits my senior year of high school. I went on a lot of visits for track scholarships, and when I went to CCSJ, I felt like I felt at home. I came from Highland, so it was kind of like a smaller community, which I liked that about CCSJ. Everyone knew everyone was very helpful. With just the program alone, I feel like all my professors knew me by name. They knew that I was super quiet when I first got there, but towards the end, I was kind of the class clown, goofy, getting everyone involved. We loved to be together, which a lot of my professors knew if I needed help on the outside, I could go to them on their off hours, and they would sit down and work with me. That's one thing that I always thought was great about them, because if I didn't understand something, I could take it to them and ask, hey, what can I do on my lesson plans? What would you change as a teacher? And they would sit down word for word, tell me what to do, and I could make it better. So I did like that with my professors. The class sizes, I loved that they were so small that it felt like a little family that we could build, and we could bounce ideas off each other as teachers before we were even out in the field. And a lot of us still are connected till this day. I know a lot of us teach different grades, but we can still bounce off some ideas with each other, which is great. So it's like a little family now. So a lot of the faculty members, they came from being in the classroom. So it wasn't like your typical person where they're just gonna get up there and teach you from the book. They had true experience that they could bring in and say, hey, I had little Johnny in my class one year and he was doing this. And I learned from that, so now I'm gonna teach you before you make that same mistake. So it was kind of bringing their experience into the classroom and teaching us, but still kind of teaching from the book as well. So we got to see both sides of it, which was really helpful, because teaching is a career where anything is thrown at you, and it's like you have to think on the spot. Like, someone might say something and you're like, whoa, we can't say that, but like, let's turn it around and do this. Or someone's going to do something in here where you just have to work on the fly. So it's a lot of thinking, and I feel like a lot of the faculty members got every teacher in our program prepared for that, which I think is amazing, because anything could happen in teaching. I think it's good to teach where you came from. So even though I wasn't from Hammond, I was just over the bridge in Highland, and I feel like a lot of it is what I grew up with, and I know that some of these kids are going through home lives which are crazy, and they try to bring that in. So you have to also be there as like a grown-up, a safe place for them, and knowing their background history, because some days might be hard for them to come in where something happened that night, and now it's set the tone for the next day. So just kind of going with the home life and still being a teacher. A lot of negativity comes with the education field, which is really sad. A lot of people have negative thoughts about it. They always ask, what are you going to school for? Once they hear to be a teacher, it was like everyone went down, and it was like, why are you going to be a teacher? They don't make any money. They do this, all this stuff, and I was like, it's not about the money. The money is more of those aha moments, so being open to anything would be the best advice, I would think. Like I said at the beginning, there's so much to do in teaching. It's a lot of work. I know you're gonna be stressed out your first year, but the impact that you're having on these kids and those aha moments, you're gonna keep learning every single day. Teaching was on my list since I was 5. Sitting in a kindergarten classroom, and it can bring tears to me, because it takes me back to that second where, my kindergarten teacher got up in the front and was teaching me, and from that minute on, I knew that's what I wanted to do. I want to be who she is, and I want to change the world just like her. And I cry because it gets me so emotional, because seeing that one person changed one student's life is crazy to me. And that's what I wanted to do since day one. Seeing these kids sitting here, and 1 second it's like, aha, and it's that little light bulb on top of their head, and it's like, I finally understand what that aha moments mean. I always hear teachers talk about it, and they're like, aha moments are the light of teaching. And I'm like, what does that always mean? Going into student teaching and then having my own classroom and seeing those kids finally get 5 + 5 is 10. And I figured that out on my own. And they're like so excited. They're telling little Johnny next to them like, hey, I just figured this out. Like, this is awesome. Miss Pickens just taught me this. Or they're coming in and they're telling you all the stuff that happened at home. Miss Pickens, Miss Pickens, Miss Pickens. Just hearing my name constantly is just, it warms my heart and it makes me feel good because that was me with my kindergarten teacher. From day one, I always knew I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher and I never once changed that up because of one person, which is amazing to me. So just hearing those aha moments is really big. So.